Alright, so you got fucked at Collision. You said outside shit.
Yeah.
I kind of had a different experience at Collision. Because I feel like... I talked about it a little bit on stream, but I feel like... I did want to win, and I did try really hard. I just suck. Mm-hmm. But I am happy that I tried. And I learned so much about like how Melee is played again at the highest level. Because we were talking about it. When we were at the bar, I was drunk and it was just me and you fucking chit chatting about how
it was great.
It was great. No, that was a fucking, because I realized like I'm trying to be the best Melee player I can be. But like people like HBox, you know, Cody, Zane, Leffen, like all the fucks who like, you know, go far and try. It looks like they're just fucking trying really fucking hard. It's like they're not trying to be better at the game. They're just trying to be better at winning.
Yep.
And I know like some random like noob will be like, well, what the fuck's the difference? Like, what do you mean? It's like I think there's a big difference. Like
a huge difference.
And like when you're trying to be better, you're like trying to explore, you're trying to outplay, you're trying to do this. But like when you're trying to win, like if someone's giving you something and you read it, you just never change it up.
Yeah.
And that's when I lost to Zane and Cody, or Zane and Moki. I was like, how the fuck did I lose? And I'm like, I feel like I just kind of approached and they kind of fucked me. And then I was like mad about it, but I'm like, why wouldn't they take it? Like they're trying to win. And I was like, they were just better than winning than me in the moment, you know? Like I do think I could be the better player, but if they're better at winning, like what does it really matter?
Yeah.
So that's when I lost to them. I was like, man, I fucking suck. But I'm like, I just realized like winning's so much different than playing the game. And it hit me like in so many ways that I was like,
that's sick.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Like I realized like I was just playing to play. And like I thought I wanted to win. I really thought I wanted to win, but it's like I didn't want to win. When you want to win, you fucking turn to a little grime lord and you'll fucking stand there and not move forward, and you're just like,
yeah.
You're at 120% and you'll be like, you want to fucking kill me, bitch? You gotta come and get it. And then you start doing little pussy ass pokes with no commit. You get like 3 forward tilts and you die and you're like, fuck yeah. Like when you're so want to win, you know what I mean? You're at 120 and you get 40% and now you have like an 80% lead instead of a 40% lead. You come down, you get a down air forward smash. And it's just like, once you realize that like all those little fucking things add up throughout the course of a set, it's just like, that's when I realized like, oh, like I'm not even close to trying to win, bro. Like I have a fucking lead, I just run in there, get grabbed. It's like, what the fuck did I do with my lead? Nothing.
Yeah, you're just trying to play like the best Melee you can play.
Yeah, but I realized
that's a different game.
So now it's like, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, then I watched Cody. Usually when Cody's playing well, dude, Cody be over 140% and just playing like the biggest fucking asshole.
Yeah, dash dance on the other side and laser, and then frame one there as soon as you move in. Just like
you get you 80%, and then he comes back new stock, and then kill setup, and it's just like it just adds up, and like I'm so happy. Because after Collision, I went back to my room. I just stared at the wall for like 3 hours.
That's so sick.
I was so mad. I was like, because dude, I saw everyone at the bar. Like we were there early, so it was chill. I was like, alright, it's just us, blah blah blah. But then as time went by,
more people
everyone started showing up, and even Zane, like, and I feel like I don't want to see the people who outplaced me, and like, I just see Zane won, and I look him in the eye, and I'm just like, I hate you, cause like he is living the life I want to live. So it's like, I don't know if it makes me like a poor sport or I'm just fucking competitive. I'm just like, I don't want to see you, Zane. Like, I want to be you right now. Like, I have won before, and I know what you're going through. It's like, I want to feel that. And I can't just be around you while you're feeling that, because it just makes me more mad, because I feel the opposite spectrum where
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
So it's like I see them, and then Cody's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, Cody, you outplaced me. And then I see Juan, I'm just like, I hate all of you, bro. I look at Moki, and he's just a little. That wasn't smug. We made like small eye contact. Then he kind of looked away, and I was like, okay, I like Moki. Moki was just like, nothing to see here. He's like, I beat you, blah blah blah. And so I was like, and then I just went up to my room. I was like, I don't want to see any of these people. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, it took a while, but now I realize like. I'm done losing. I realized that I hate losing. Like I forgot how it makes me feel, and then now I'm back. Now I get it.
It sounds like we had 2 very eye-opening Collision weekends.
Yeah, it's funny because they were eye-opening.
Like never again.
In different ways. Yeah. Because never again, bro. I realized, and that's why like Dude, even this week, because I think what I've been doing a lot is like, I talk to you, I'll talk to like Gio, I'll talk to like anybody who would just listen to me type a bunch.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
love it.
yeah, no, I've been just typing a lot, because my therapist had told me, my sports guy was like, he's like, you should try writing stuff out. He's like,
right.
He's like all the people who've ever been good at something have always just like written their stuff, and he like told me about it. I was like, of course I think it's stupid in my head. I'm like, I don't want to fucking write. But now that I'm like writing stuff out and seeing it, because
it cements it more.
Yeah, it cements it. So like, example would be like, you're getting hit by, I don't know, just run up smash by Fox, and then like you write about it after, you're like, oh my god, keep getting run up smash, and then I feel like when it's happening now, since you've like talked about it to yourself, it's like you're more likely to like be like, oh,
that's the thing.
Yeah, that's like, oh, that's what I wrote about, and then you're like, wait a minute, and then it's like you write about how to counter it, and then I feel like a lot of that's been helping me a lot, and that's why like on stream too, I'll just like fucking repeat myself 10 times because I'm like, I need this to stick. Like, this is important.
All the time.
Yeah, that's really good too. I want to play right now, dude. I'm getting stoked.
Have you seen the LeBron podcast yet?
No, I haven't watched that. I haven't had time.
Okay, he talks about something that you had mentioned earlier, where when people want to win, they're just going to do the same thing that works.
Yeah.
And LeBron was like, he's like, there's one thing in the league that pisses me off, and that I don't understand why people don't do this. He was like, if you run a play and it works, why don't you just run it again? And I'm like, yeah,
that's literally what happened to me.
That's probably why he wins so much, because like he keeps it simple.
Yeah, because he's not. I think when I assume when LeBron's in a game, he's not trying to drop 60 points and be like, do some nasty ass and one shit. He's just like, if this is working and I can just drive every time, why won't I do it? And it really is. It's just that simple. That's what I realized this weekend. That was big for me.
And no one's gonna call LeBron lame ever for like doing something. He's gonna be like, wow, this team doesn't know how to deal with LeBron. They don't know how to deal with it. That's all they're gonna say. They can't stop him. And it's just like, well, he is just doing the same thing over and over again. But this is truth. They don't have an answer to it, so keep asking the question. Yeah,
no, that's perfect. So yeah, that's like literally just, see, LeBron gets me.
Yeah,
he gets it. Cause like, why? It's just no reason to stop. Ugh. Oh, we were talking about so I had a big melee.
Oh my goodness.
realization about how. So I realized, I think it's because of Falco, but I realized I've never really looked at the other person while I play them. I think I've always looked at the little space in between.
Yeah, YouTube comments are gonna go crazy on that.
Yeah, no, I realized I did. So is everyone just looking at the other person?
I think a lot of people do what you do, where they look at the space and.
Well,
like
I think.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was telling you earlier, where I was like, I think it is more comforting to look at the space in between, because you're taking in less information and you don't have to think as much. But I think it is better to obviously look at your opponent. More information is better if you can like process it fast enough. Yeah, I think it's, how do you say, it's like, I think when you're looking at the space, it's very, I think it's like, for me, that's why I think I do dumb aerials a lot, because I'm like looking at the space and then they kind of come into my little space and I'm like, and then I'll do a down air and they're just gone. And I realized like, and I think also the benefit of like, I think once you're good enough and you have full control of your character, which you do eventually one day. Yeah. And that's when you actually don't have to look at yourself at all. You only look at them. Yeah. So I was realizing, like, from that point of view, I was like, so when I'm playing fucking, Zane, whoever, Cody, and I'm like, I just run at them and then they just read it or they react, but I'm like, wait a minute, it's because they're just looking at me. So I'm so telegraphed, because I'm like, wait a minute. So then I started thinking, I'm like, wait a minute. So this is why I can't just shine from across the stage anymore as Fox. Because they're all just looking at me and they're like, well, he's running. He hasn't done anything. It might work. Yeah. But I realized the way I have been playing Melee my whole life is that I am just relying on my intuition and like instinct and gut
to just always pick the right option instead of like setting myself up in a spot where I can like react or be better. I've realized my whole career I've just bail me out intuition. I've realized I've always just counted on my intuition and now that I'm like looking at the game,
it worked for a long time.
It did work for a long time, but now I realize the benefit is I feel like my intuition is, I think, the best in the world. I just gotta train it to be a little more nerdy and a little more reacty, and then I think that's when I'll be like unbeatable.
Well, remember I was saying it's like you can use both. You can use your eyes and your intuition, and like they just work together.
See, I don't think I've ever played Melee with my eyes, and I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at when I play. I'm just like actually, because I think I'm trying really hard to get good again. So that's why like these last 2 months, if you've been watching my stream, I've just like have broken myself down. That's why there's like, I'll play Kyle Crudo and 6 games in a row, I'll just run at him. I'm like, I don't care what happens. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I'll be like, why didn't this work? And then I'll be like, okay, it didn't work. Blah, blah. And then like, I've just been like very trying to actually break things down. Cause I think the way I understand the game is like a little outdated, and I'm like okay with that. And now like I feel like I'm trying to like upgrade my game and like, all right, let's add some new stuff to it along with some of the good old stuff. And then I feel like that's been helping me like a lot.
Yeah, let me think, because I felt very similar last year, where the way I've been trying to relate the game, or what I've been trying to relate the game to the most, and like when I'm playing my best, is when I relate the game to a fight. And it's like, well, if I'm in a fight, I don't want to be thinking. I'm not going to be thinking. I'm going to be trying to survive and trying to like do things. But also, my eyes are going to be on my opponent the entire time in a fight.
Yeah.
So
what else
like,
are you going to be looking at?
Yeah, exactly. But like with Melee, it's like I feel like we get in our own heads because we know so much about the game that we think we can like ignore the person. In a way, and it's just like, nah, this is still a fight. There is another human being playing with me. I need to watch them.
It's funny you say that, because there's, I don't know if you ever knew, but I wanted to be a fighter at one point.
Yeah.
And that was because I was like, what in life do I like? And I was like, I like sports. I like Melee. And I was like, well, and then I thought, I'm like, well, I realized when you're in a fight, like if you're fighting boxing or anything, it's like, it's really just Melee.
It is.
It's like not in a corny way. It's just like, I'm fighting. I have my skills. You have your skills, and then one of us will win. One of us will lose.
Well, I think that's competing.
Yeah. That's more competing than
fighting.
Yeah.
I think fighting is you have to be focused and you're trying to survive.
Trying
to win. Yeah, like.
Because then I think that's why I think having both's good too.
Yeah.
I think that's why good fighters probably have that, and also like that real fucking determination to win and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like fucking lethal.
Something else I'd like to take from like fighters or just sports like that is like sparring. Where it's like what you were just saying is like for 6 games in a row you just tried to run at Kyle. I'm like, yes, that's what sparring is. You try things. You're not trying to like knock your opponent out. Sparring.
Yeah.
You do spar with intensity, but like you try things.
Yeah. Me and Gio, okay, we'll save that because I think I have a lot to say about that.
Okay.
Because I think that's a super juicy topic, but we'll save that for next time. And we'll keep talking about the vision shit. Because I just talked to Gio for like 20 minutes about what you just said.
Oh, okay.
So we'll write that down and we'll say, because that's juicy. I think there's a lot to be said about how people practice and like how people don't want to try things and stuff. And I said a lot to Gio today that I would love to say next time.
Oh, I have so many topics I can.
Yeah, we just gotta write them down. That one's good. That's a good one.
I do want to talk to you about edgeguarding. But it's
we
like,
can do edgeguarding.
How much time do we have?
Well, we have like 30-40 minutes.
Okay.
So we could talk with edgeguarding again, because I realized it yesterday. I don't know what you said, but you said something about Marth off stage, and then I actually did one of the drawings where I was looking at. So I realized because I'm starting to admit things before, like my ego would never allow me to admit when I'm bad at something. That's why on the other episode I was like, you know what, I am bad against Sheik. It took me 20 years to admit that, but I was like, you know what? And now that I've played Sheik like every day, I actually think I'm amazing against Sheik. I think I have that.
You look way better versus Sheik right now.
I have that little bitch figured out. But I would just like, if somebody's like that, I'll just always be like, no, this is better. Like I just would never want to admit that I was like not wrong, but like just bad at something. You know, like I just don't want to do it. But then I was like, no, I'm like, I think in my last few sets with Zane, I'm just like, I can't fucking edge guard this motherfucker. That's why he keeps beating me. And then I was like, that's why I messaged you. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something I've never done before because my ego won't let me. I was like, all right, Kalindy, I need some fucking safe states, bro.
Yeah.
I asked. I was like, you know what, man? Like, whatever I've been doing is just not working. I just can't edge guard, and I think if I just fucking put a little time into it. Yep. And then I think I realized why I can't edge guard was because you said something about Marth, and then I was like, wait, you're looking at Marth when you edge guard?
I was yelling at you. I was like, watch him.
Yeah, you're like, watch him, and I was like, and then I thought, and I was like, I don't even fucking look at Marth when I edge guard him. And then I thought more after stream, because I was like, this is just me relying on my intuition for me to get this edge guard. And
yes.
I was like, wait, my intuition's amazing and it'll win me stocks games, but like on average, it's gonna be hard for my intuition to beat like Zane all the time. And I realized that's why Zane farms me sometimes, because I'm just relying on pure intuition to beat this fuck. But that's really fucking hard. So it's like, now that I was piecing it together, I was like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. So I have the drawing right here. Okay, so this drawing is kind of shitty. You guys see it? But I was looking at that space while edge guarding. And then you see the little red guy. I started looking just at Marth, and then it was like, oh, he forward bead. And I just had like, I was like, wait, this is, and I was edge guarding Zane so much better even yesterday. I was like, oh my god. It was like, and then after I'm like, why the fuck am I looking at that space? There's nothing there. And then my whole fucking, all like these last 2 days, my whole reality is shattered.
I'm glad.
Because I feel like I've been like, just looking at everything so wrong.
The situation, I remember this specifically yesterday when I was like, you should grab ledge late and mix up some like instant double jumps after you use your invincibility. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, do I fast fall or do I jump backwards? And I was like, it depends on what resources Marth is using. Uh-huh. Where is he at? How low is he? And you did one and you got hit, and I was like, you should have fast fell. And you didn't get it. You're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, if you were looking at Marth, you would know that you would have had the pass ball.
I wasn't looking.
You were looking.
My whole life changed in that moment.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. And that's why, like, literally all today, I've just been like, my whole reality has been warped because I feel like I can't wait to play right now, and I'm just only going to look at the other motherfucker. And I just want to see what happens. And I feel like the game's going to be so much easier.
It is, yeah.
Because I just always rely on myself to know where they're going to be and stuff. But I don't need to. I can just know where they are by looking at them.
Yeah.